Hello students, today we will see the case of Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is also known as a facial palsy. In this picture you can see a different faces with the different smile. So let's study the case of the Bell's palsy. A 55-year-old teacher went to his family physician and complained that since morning he is not able to close his right eye, and during the eating the food accumulates between the teeth and cheeks on the right side. He is also not able to whistle or puff out his cheek properly. Based on the observation, the physician concluded that all the muscles of the face on the right side of the teachers are paralyzed, and he diagnosed him as a case of Bell's palsy. So just see what was the observation done by the physician on the teacher's face. This is the picture of the teacher who came with the complaint to the physician. You can see clearly this, you can call it as a asymmetric face. If I will draw the midline over here, you can clearly see the difference between the right side and the left side of the face. The right side of the face appeared flattened and the expressionless. There was loss of the wrinkles on the forehead. The patient was unable to close his eyelid. The saliva was drooled out from the right side of the corner of the mouth. Teacher was unable to puff or the whistle, and when patient smiled, the lower portion of the face is lifted towards the left side, but the angle of the mouth or the right corner of the face was not raised as a normally seen. On the basis of this case, the questions can be asked: what are the characteristic features of the muscles of the facial expression? What is Bell's palsy? And mention its common cause. The third one is very important. What is the difference between the upper and lower motor neuron type of the facial palsy? Bell's palsy is named after the Sir Charles Bell, who was first described the facial paralysis in the 19th century. The Bell's palsy can occur at any age, but most commonly it is found between the age of 15 to 60 years. Let's see the characteristics of the facial muscles. All the facial muscles are located in the superficial fascia. The muscles are inserted into the skin of the face, and all the muscles are supplied by the facial nerve. These are the characters of the facial muscle. The patient who visited to the physician has lower motor neuron type of facial palsy or infranuclear lesion. The exact cause of the facial palsy is not known, but most probably it occurs due to the compression of the facial nerve in the facial canal just above the stylomastoid foramina, or it may be a viral infection that causes the inflammation and swelling to the facial nerve. Infranuclear lesion or lower motor neuron lesion occurs below the nucleus or beyond the brainstem. This is the cerebrum and this is the section of the brainstem. On the either side, you can see over here, this is the site of the facial nucleus. So, if lesion occurs below the nucleus, it is called as a infranuclear lesion. If this lesion occurs, the same side of the face is completely paralyzed. If the lower motor neuron lesion occurs, the same side of the facial muscles are paralyzed and the patient shows the asymmetric face. In case of lower motor neuron facial palsy, whole face of the side of the lesion is paralyzed. Due to the paralysis of the frontalis muscle, the horizontal wrinkles on the forehead are absent. The patient will be unable to close the eye because of paralysis of the orbicularis oculi muscle. Patient will be unable to puff his cheek or unable to whistle, and food may collect between the teeth and the cheek. So that is because of the paralysis of the buccinator muscle. Then there is a drooping of the corner of the mouth due to the paralysis of the zygomatic major and the levator anguli muscle. You know, the zygomatic major is a smiling muscle. Bilateral control of the upper face, and there is a contralateral control of the lower face. This is the region of the brainstem and either side nucleus of the facial nerve, as we have seen before also. So, if lesion occurs at the infranuclear region, the same side of the face is a paralyzed, and if there is a upper motor neuron lesion, only contralateral or opposite side of the face, only lower part of the opposite side of the face is paralyzed. The upper face of the opposite side is spared because it also receives the fibers from the other side. That's why if there is only one side lesion, it receives the either side fiber. That's why upper face is spared or it is not affected by the lesion. The common cause of the supranuclear lesion is a hemorrhage in the internal capsule, which involves the corticonuclear fibers. As a result of this, it caused the contralateral paralysis of the lower half of the face and the contralateral hemiplegia. Upper part of the face is not affected. Damage to the upper motor neuron stops the signal to the muscles which need to the movement. And when muscles do not move for the long time, they become weak and stiff, and over the time it becomes harder.